What's good, family? Shout out to my doggy, Shola E, for boosting up your man the YB's membership coins. You know what to do. Me too. That blue button, no doubt. So, throughout this video, you'll see, hopefully, if the UFC pagans haven't censored it, but like I said, hopefully you'll be seeing right now the fight which took place a week ago. Yeah? Molly McCann smoked some next chick's pack. Trust me, her pack got smoked. That's what you best believe. Smoked it good and proper. But you know this is really a boxing channel, and obviously all the AJ Man fans are going to be big sick. But no one else exposes these injustices right now. Yeah, and I think it's a true injustice that a man can be paid $40 million for what? For flapping. Yeah. AJ's last 3 fights has probably grossed $100 million. Maybe even more than that. Bear in mind the Ruiz fight, he allegedly got paid $100 million itself. Who knows, $200 million. Yeah? With all the goofy ass ads he'd be selling. $200 million. And he flapped the whole way through them. And lost half of them as well whilst he was there. What's going on here? And you know what, it's not even really about the money. For me, it's more about the principle of this is how it's supposed to be done, people, in front of your hometown. Yeah, AJ, after losing to a middleweight that he told us he was going to try and knock out, this wasn't even about losing, yeah? When Wilder lost to Fury, you didn't hear me say nothing, because he tried his best. No one can say Wilder didn't try his best. AJ, after the fight, after going in there with a sparring session, telling us about, it was great to get some rounds under my belt. Yeah, I can't wait to get back in the gym on Monday. It was great to get rounds under your belt. What do you think this is, AJ? Do you think you're being paid $40 million to go and have a sparring session? And again, if that's the case, that's fine. But Eddie and everyone else needs to tell the public what it is. Yeah? If you're selling a sparring session, say that. Don't be telling people 24 hours before, as AJ did, I'm going Kronk style. It's all knockouts. I'm done with boxing. I'm going back to knockout. That's what he said. Yeah, he was in the pre-fight press conference saying, what do you want? Knockout. When do you want? Doing all that. Doing way too much. For a man who knew he ain't got it in him. Meanwhile, we got Molly McCann making probably 50, 100 grand. Going in there and fighting. It's not even really about the money. It's about the principle. It's about the attitude here. Yeah, this is how you're supposed to represent your peoples. Molly McCann in London. In fact, the whole UFC show, the whole London UFC show was shut down. Yeah, all of the UK athletes showed up for their peoples. That's what you're supposed to do in front of your peoples. Bare minimum. Yeah, if you want to get punched up by Mr. Blobby in America, that's another conversation. But in front of your peoples, and then after the fight, you say, "I hope the fans are entertained." What's wrong with this guy? But it shows you the individuals around him. Like I told you. You can't be around me doing them kind of performances, making that kind of money. Yeah, what you need to do is go and sit down somewhere and retire. Yeah, if you can't get up for $50 million in front of 80,000 of your people, just go and sit down somewhere and be quiet and just, retire. That's what you need to do. AJ's so greedy for coin and so lazy as well, and he's mentally weak. He's low IQ, mentally weak and lazy. Yeah? But YB, he loves to train. Yeah, he does love to train. But who don't love to train? Yeah? AJ's become a gym fighter. He's wicked at training. And under the lights, he flaps. And that's fine. If you can't produce, sit down somewhere. Yeah? And leave it to the people like Molly McCann who can produce. And it's so important because these UFC fighters, and I understand that you can only be paid what you generate. And yeah, there's an argument at the moment that UFC fighters aren't being paid enough. I don't understand why people are supporting AJ's events for. I don't get it. Who wants to pay to watch a big buff dude be all cowering in the corner against a man who didn't have power at cruiserweight? Do you understand? Usyk didn't hurt no one at cruiserweight, but yet big Mr. Bubbly bodybuilder, who's supposed to be one of the most aggressive fighters in the last X amount of time, is in the corner on the last round, looking all sorry for himself. In fact, when the bell went AJ's corner was throwing the flag, was waving the towel. That's what happened. AJ's corner was waving the towel. And this shows you the mentality of the whole team. Yeah, the fact AJ came out after the fight talking about, oh, I hope all the fans enjoyed it. Who's around him? I just sat him down and said, what was that? Yeah, about you hope everyone enjoyed it. You hope 80,000 people who showed up to support you enjoyed watching you on the ropes, feeling sorry for yourself. Yeah? You think 80,000 people enjoyed watching you get popped in the mouth in the first round and then work out you don't really want to be there no more? What part of that you think your people want to watch? You know what I mean? Or you think your people pay to watch you throw one uppercut the whole fight? Didn't see no hooks. So what exactly are the people paying for here? Yeah? I'm sorry, but it's wild. Super wild. And it shows you the mentality of the whole lot. Yeah? Get popped in the mouth. He just didn't want to be there. Look at Molly McCann, comes out on this thing. And people talk about using the crowd as energy, and that's what it's supposed to be. 80,000 people, you had the most energy. Where was it? And this is why I say these days, yeah, it's too easy. It's been too easy for AJ. He got stuff he didn't actually earn. He hadn't earned the following he got, and that's why I tell you, he's the biggest hype job ever. AJ's essentially a bit of a better version of Fraudly Harrison. And AJ came along in an era that was super weak, which made him look, made him look dangerous. In any other era, he'd have been any other bum. Yeah, he got things he don't deserve, and now all of his team around him. I mean, why was the team waving the flag? What we heard all the comment, oh, great job, AJ, great job. The only people who need to be screaming great job, I mean, again, you can see the footage on your screen right now. That's great job. Yeah, she came out on this thing, hungry, looking for smoke. Yeah, looking for problems. That's what she did. Molly McCann came out looking for problems. That's what you're supposed to do in front of your home peoples. Yeah, you're not supposed to come out against a dude half your size, get popped in the mouth and think, oh, you know what? Yeah, I don't really fancy this $50 million fight. I'm just going to cruise through and have a nice sparring session and get paid anyway. And it's the problem you see with the whole bag era. And all the AJ Man fans say, oh, but YB, look at you. You're in the basement and AJ's got $50 million. I'm sorry, but integrity is worth more. And it's cliche, but it's true. Integrity is worth more than any amount of coin. I'd rather be broke and have integrity than be a big goofy bodybuilding looking ass with no heart. Yeah? Oh man, but I got a watch and my watch is shiny. Yeah? And the only reason AJ got a shiny watch is because he's bumped the fans. That's a fact. That's the only reason. Only reason AJ got anything is because he sells fake news tickets. And I don't know why you man keep buying it. I don't understand. The only reason to buy an AJ fight now is to watch him jack or watch him flap. That's the only reason. There's no competitive, oh, is he going to win? Yeah? Unless AJ's in there with a 50-year-old, there's no question if he's going to win or not. You know he ain't. You know he's going to come out, get popped and not want to be there no more. And the fact no one from his team, everyone's always mollycoddling him. Oh, AJ, oh, you're so new to the sport. 15 years, oh, you're still learning, AJ. Oh, AJ, everyone must remember that he's still learning. If you're still learning, don't be going to Wembley. How about that? Yeah? If you're still learning, stay in the small halls where still learning people stay. How about that? That's what you should be doing. Don't be going to Wembley and gassing everyone about how you're going to get the knockout. Because like I said, you could have said to people, listen, I love trying to fanny around, I love trying to be an outboxer, and I'm going to try and tickle Usyk to death. That's what you could have said. And this video wouldn't exist because I say, listen people, listen, fair play to AJ. He told you, man, he was coming out there to play touch butt with Ido Portal in the park. Yeah? He could have said that. He didn't. He said, oh, I swear to God, I wasn't even going to bet on this fight, yeah? Until he came out and said, I'm going Kronk. Gassing it. Yeah? Doing all that. Doing all the woofing. Getting everyone logging into William Hill. And he went in there. He must have known he didn't have no Kronk in his heart. He must have known that. Look at the performance. That wasn't the one where he got caught slipping and he thought he wanted it and then found that he didn't. This wasn't one of them ones. This was a clear one. He had no intention of being vicious in there. There wasn't a vicious bone in his body in that fight. Not one. And then after the fight we started hearing all the excuses. Oh well, I thought I could outbox Usyk. AJ, you are low IQ. You're fake. You're not smart. You're not. Oh, my name's AJ, big bodybuilder. I think I'm super intelligent. I'm gonna outbox you, sick. How'd that work out for you? The man who don't knock no one out nearly knocked you out. That's how non-intelligent you are. You at best, people should have told you this from the start. At best, you're gonna be a bruiser. That's at best what you're gonna be. Yeah, let's not have no illusions here like you're gonna be some super slick thing. The best thing you can do is be the most efficient bruiser you can be. If you can't deal with that, go and play a different sport. That's what you should have been told. But instead, the way the world is today, everyone just wants to suck something off. That's the bottom line here, people. That's what you're seeing here. No one wants the cold hard truth. It's going to be hard work. Yes, AJ, it's going to be hard work to make $50 million and be a winner. Yeah? When did that? It's like today people expect to win and not have to do much for it. And people look at Floyd. Floyd, as far as boxing goes, is clearly very intelligent. Not everyone can be that, but Floyd kind of set the precedent for being able to make a lot of money and not really do a lot. Let's be real now. Floyd did the bare bones minimum. And to be honest, Floyd ducked all the young people. Floyd fought a bunch of old cats. We don't really know what would have happened. We don't really know what would happen if Floyd was in there with people who were really hungry to win. When was the last guy Floyd fought someone hungry to win? Yeah? We don't know. He fought Guerrero, no good, old, useless. Yeah? All the people he fought, but Berto, old, useless. Yeah? Floyd never really fought any of the young bucks who were really on this thing. Yeah, you can say he fought Canelo, fair enough. He fought Floyd fought categorically the most useless version of Canelo. Yeah? That's the bottom line. So look at Floyd's career. What's he really done? He got beat by De La Hoya. Oops. And De La Hoya really set the blueprint. De La Hoya showed all that funny style stuff. Oh, I'm super intelligent. When someone comes in there and their lipstick's out, all that funny cool stuff don't work. Oops. That's why De La Hoya, who was washed at the time, gave Floyd all he could handle. All that slick, all that wannabe, look at me, I'm super slick. It don't work when someone wants to be there. It just don't. Yeah, when someone's marching forward, all that tippy-tappy rubbish goes flying out the window. That's what we know. And that's what Anthony Yarde showed against Arthur. Yeah? When Anthony Yarde turned up against Queen Arthur to play tippy-tappy, he got beat. When Anthony Yarde turned up to get stuck in, he popped the cherry. That's what I don't know how hard it is to explain. There ain't no defence for someone rock hard. Yeah? There's none. When someone wants you bad, you got. Unless your name's Tyson Fury and you got about a foot advantage. If you're 10 foot tall and someone's 6 foot tall, then you probably can nick a fight by running around in circles. But apart from that, when you've got two men the same size, if one of them wants it and the other doesn't, it's game over. And the fact that the worst thing is AJ has all the natural advantages as well. All he needs is a little bit of hardness, a little bit of motivation, and I believe he'd be unstoppable. But instead, he has no motivation. He's completely soft. And he is the equivalent of a boogaloo bear, yeah, a big friendly bear with a blue fluffy belly, boogaloo, yeah, that's all it is. That's his equivalent. He's a friendly goofy. I mean, look at the videos. Oh, my name's AJ and I'm a big friendly bear and I'm gonna play touch butt with the flumes in the park with Ido Portal. That's your man AJ right now. Yeah, obviously all the AJ fans are big mad. Oh, YB, this, that, the other. The reason you man are mad yet is because what you notice is none of you man can ever tell me nothing about, oh, you're a hater because of A, B, C, D. What you notice is, yeah, the people who try and kind of go against what I'm saying, you'll never ever hear them pick an actual point and say you're wrong because of this. You don't see that. And so, oh, you're a hater. Because you man ain't got the IQ to break down. And number one, you ain't got the IQ. Number two, there ain't nothing. Yeah? AJ is psychologically finished, and his whole team around him are also soft. He picked the softest guy going. Angel Fernandez is soft and useless. That's just a fact. That's what it is. No good. Yeah? And he's proven that. What can I say? Oh, great AJ. Great AJ. You're getting your head boxed off by a middleweight. It's so great. Keep doing that. Where was the people telling him, get your elbows in? Why are you backing up? I don't understand that. Why are you backing up against a man half your size? Someone please explain it to me. I don't get it. I'm confused. Explain. You're supposed to be a vicious heavyweight. You told us you were going for the KO. What part of that fight did you go for the KO in? We want to know. People want to know. And again, the whole point of this video, look at Molly McCann. And the picture I used as the DP here, this wasn't from the weekend's fight, but this was a few fights back. A few fights back here, Molly McCann got her eye popped, and still in the thick of it. Desperate to win. Thirsty to win. And I'm not saying, well, I'd like to think that even when you've got a whole bunch of coin, that's what I'm saying. For me, yeah, really, if I was about to say, well, Molly McCann's still relatively broke and that's probably keeping her hungry, which is probably a true statement, but I feel like if you can't keep the hunger, just go sit down somewhere. Or be honest. Because no one's ever honest. No one ever really says, oh, the truth is, people, I've got a whole bunch of coin now and I'm just trying to live, I'm just trying to take more coin out of your pocket and not do a lot. But none of them do that. They all carry on the lie that, oh yeah, I'm on it, I'm coming back, it's my comeback. It's 3 times. AJ, let me tell you something now about 3 times. I don't want to hear no one talk about 3 times no more. Yeah? Losing don't mean 3 times. 3 times is supposed to be, well, I went away and I came back. That's 3 times. Keep into, if you lose 6 times in a row, that don't mean you're, oh, I'm 6 times champion. No, you just lost every time. Let's get rid of this narrative of losing means you've won. Oh, I'm a 6-time world champion. No, you're not. You're a 6-time loser. That's what it is. I'm going to be real with you. Yeah? Oh, well, YB, he coming back. He's going to be 3 times loser. He's going to be 3 times loser against Mr. Blobby and Mr. Middleweight. That's who you lost to. Yeah? And the worst thing is, unlike other people in the past, when you came back, your ass was gone still. When Mr. Blobby punched you up, you didn't want nothing to do with Mr. Blobby. Yeah, Mr. Big Bodybuilder was scared to death of Mr. Blobby. Psychologically, Ruiz won both of them fights, in my opinion. That's just what it is. Yeah? Psychologically, Ruiz had to win in both of them fights. Ruiz was begging AJ in the 12th round to stand and fight. But anyway, listen. I want to say, big shout out to Molly McCann. She a real one. She a real fighter. Yeah, a true fighter. Not scared of her own shadow. Not scared to get stuck in. Not scared to fight until there's no more fight left. Yeah, she want to be there. She want to perform in front of her people. She talks about the energy she got from the fans. That's what you're supposed to get as well, by the way. You're not supposed to be in front of 80,000 and think, oh, and AJ's so privileged, yeah. He's so caught up in his little bubble where everyone sucks him off 24/7 and no one gives him the cold hard truth. He actually thinks, oh, I hope the fans need to be grateful for the. We put a good amount of work in tonight. I hope the fans are happy. The fans need to be grateful. We've worked hard for this. What? This shows you how delusional these cats are. Because, like I said, if I was there, I swear to God, if I was there, I'd have told them, listen, you need to apologise right now. Yeah, because number one, you told all the gamblers you were going for the KO. That's the first thing you lied about. Because you didn't even go for it. Again, fair enough, yeah. If AJ went out there and was trying to push for it and couldn't get it done, that's on me. I took a risk. But to tell people you're going for the KO and then go in there and not a bit of the fight, not one part of the fight was about the KO. Let's be real now, people. All you AJ Man fans, get his dingaling out your mouth, yeah? In fact, scrap that. Tell me the timestamp I need to go to show me which one of the 12 rounds was about the KO that he sold us the day before. Oh, YB, it's your fault. No one told you to gamble. Well, he did. Number one, he always put in the... Wait a minute. If AJ didn't tell us to gamble, why is he plugging William Hill all over the place? Oops. Yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing is, why are you telling us he's going for the KO? Don't lie. He knew he didn't have no intention of going for the KO. Unless he thought he was going to stumble over it again, like he did against Pulev, and I think that's probably what it was. AJ thought, oh, I managed to knock over 60-year-old Pulev. I guess Usyk going to be the same. That's what he thought. AJ thought you can get KOs just by playing touch butt in the park with Ido Portal. That's what he must have thought. And I'm glad he didn't. Bottom line. Not one person round him give him the cold hard truth. And the cold hard truth is, you need to apologise. That's what you should have been doing. After the fight. Apologised for a pathetic performance. And you let down all your people. All the 80,000. in a whopper of a performance. That's what should have been said. Eddie Hearn, oh well, he's still learning. He's only been doing this 40 years. Oh yeah, but AJ's only 56, but he only had 8 amateur fights. That's what we'll be. I swear to God, 10 years from now, yeah, we'll be hearing how AJ only had 10 amateur fights. Oh, but you know, yeah, he is 49, but he only had 10 amateur fights. It's embarrassing. It really is. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for Eddie Hearn. I'm embarrassed for AJ as well. And the reason I'm embarrassed is because if I had people talking, imagine doing something, yeah, for 20 years and being told that you're still learning. Like, what the? And don't forget, people, these are the same cats, yeah, who want to tell us they're really smart. Oh, I make smart decisions and I'm a really smart man. Well, if you're that smart, why is it taking you 15 years and you've gone backwards for the last 6? Explain. I need to know. Yeah, explain. I'm desperate to understand how a man can be so smart. Oh, I'm making such smart decisions. I got all the triangles. Yeah, my name's AJ and I got triangles and I'm so smart and this and the other. But yet, you're 15 years into a game and you got no skills still. You got no skills. I'm just being honest with you. You got no defense. You got no D. What else then you got? You got no. In fact, let's talk about what you have got. What have you got? You man, tell me what skills AJ got. Apart from we know the only skill I'd bet on AJ having would be running out of gas. That's the only skill I can be. In fact, 2 skills. I know I'd bet on 2 things in every AJ fight. Number 1, he's gonna have no defense. That's something I can bet the house on. Bet your house on AJ will not know how to defend himself when under pressure. Yeah, bet the house on AJ not looking like a deer in headlights or a rabbit in headlights under pressure. That's the first thing. The second thing is bet your bottom dollar he's gonna run out of gas at some point. Yeah. And that's what do we know every fight? Pulev fight runs out of gas. Ruiz fight runs out of gas. Usyk fight runs out of gas. These are the only things we know AJ can do well. We don't know he can win a fight well. We don't. Because he keeps losing. So from now on, what I suggest, yeah, is AJ's team focus on. Don't worry about nothing else. Worry about putting a good shift in. That's what you want to worry about. Same as Molly McCann. Don't worry about nothing else. From now on, worry about giving your all. And if you start doing that, you'll find the results start following. That's what I believe anyway. I believe AJ motivated is going to be very hard to beat. A man who wants to genuinely win or doesn't want to lose is going to be very hard to beat. But all this other stuff, show me the last time you saw AJ desperate to win a fight. Show me it. When was it? He weren't desperate to beat Ruiz in a rematch. He was desperate to get out there without getting clipped. That's a fact. Show me the last time you saw AJ having kind of competitive fun in the ring. Show me when you've seen him in there just experimenting or just letting his hands flow. You don't see it. And that's why ultimately I believe he just needs to go and sit down somewhere. I think he's finished. Psychologically, he's finished. Shot to bits. There's no amount of trainers. There's no amount of these goofy trainers who also don't know what they're talking about. None of them do. I haven't heard one of them actually giving the bottom line here. They're all beating around the bush. Yeah, they're all a bunch of snake oil salesmen beating around the bush. No one giving the cold hard truth. And what I don't understand is, why is it UFC fighters can do it, but these boxers, Lawrence Hug Coley, why is it UFC fighters? And that's why I'm not bothered. That's why I'm not going to make videos about, UFC fighters aren't paid properly. I don't know what Dana's doing, but whatever Dana does, his fighters know how to perform. They're hungry to perform. They want to perform for their people, and rightfully so. And meanwhile, they're still making more money than anyone else is really. They're still 1% earners. Yeah? Well, not 1%, but they're definitely within the top 10%. UFC fighters being paid 100 grand a year in top 10%. So I'm not gonna cry no tears for their wages. I'm just not. That's what I'm not gonna do. If you can make 50 grand for 30 minutes work, or even if you say it's 8 weeks or 12 weeks, if you can make 50 grand for 12 weeks work, you best be grateful for, and plus all the rest of the things as well. YouTube channels. Most UFC fighters today can make YouTube channels that are making 10 grand a month. I'd have thought at least. So add it all up. These cats, no one needs to be crying about how much they're being paid. Yeah? But either way, like I said, whatever Dana White be doing, his people know how to perform. And they know how to get the most out of themselves. Win, lose or draw, Not all the time, but really, apart from Tapper, yeah, what fighters in the UFC go out there and just flap all the time? At the top level. You don't really see it, do you? And yes, we can laugh about how Kamaru Usman... Yeah, we can laugh about how Kamaru Snoozman is boring, but really, he gets stoppages still. He wins pretty decisively, and he does get the odd stoppage. AJ, Lawrence Hug Coley, they just be hugging. Let's be real now. Let's talk them turkey here. And that shows you the difference here. Kamaru Snoozman's one of the more boring ones, and he's still entertaining relatively. In boxing, it's actually dead. Boxing is full of people. It's full of these athletes, yeah, who have all the gifts and all the advantages. Like I said, Lawrence Hug Coley, yeah, he's got all the advantages, and still, he's scared to death of engaging. It's wild. It's a wild concept. AJ, all the advantages, scared to death of engaging. I don't understand it, and I think boxers are overpaid. I think boxers need to be paid 50 grand to show, 50 grand to win. And let's start getting some of the motivation back. I've seen some of these pay packets. Like, for example, Daniel Dubois versus Trevor Bryan. Daniel Dubois is making 2 mil. What the fuck? How is a dude who quit in his first big fight and has done nothing since but fight bums making 2 mil? I don't get it myself. I just don't. That for me was shocking when I heard that. I'd love for someone to sit down and explain it to me. And I think the only explanation, yeah, I think there must be a lot of money laundering going on in boxing. That's the only explanation. I think a lot of bottom line, I think a lot of money laundering's going on, because it don't make no sense to me. It just don't. Think about it, who's gonna $2 million, $3 million, yeah? That's not gonna be on pay-per-view. So who's buying that ticket? Who wants to watch Daniel Dubois versus Trevor Bryan? No one does. So how's that generating 3 mil? And that's just the fighters getting paid. Never mind everyone else on the card. Never mind the promoters getting their cut and whatever else, and the TV broadcasters getting their cut. All in, that's a $6-7 million event. How they making that? Khan and Brook barely made that. Literally, Khan and Brook got paid, I think, maybe double that, but that was a huge pay-per-view. But anyway, listen. Boxers are overpaid. Boxers, there's no real... Like I said, Daniel Dubois and Jack in his last decent fight, and somehow he's making 2 mil a few years later, and all he's done is fight bums since. He hasn't put on no real thrilling shows. He hasn't showed no real heart. But yet he's making massive money, life-changing money. It's baffling. Oh, YB, you're a hater. No, I'm not a hater. I just think that... I'm not sure what to say about it. I'm not sure what's going on at the moment, truth be known. It's all back to front.